All right, what's happening, fam? L.A.R movement still moving. This one is why the Clippers shouldn't have played. I went to watch the fight last night, so while the fight started, they had the Clippers game on. I think they won. I'm not too sure. Once that situation happened, I was done watching basketball. But here's the thing, because I made a blog about it last week, and I wanted to explain what I was saying. The owner of the Clippers, Donald Sterling, is no different than most people in America in those positions, okay? We're kidding ourselves if we don't think that's just the norm. Like he said it best, it's the culture. And the culture means everybody's involved. It's a cohesive unit of people doing the same thing. That what he says, does, thinks, and how he treats people, or his mentality, is the norm. Now, as far as the players go, this is a whole synopsis of what goes on in our community to a degree. See, the players, most of them are young. The coach is not young. The other players on the other team are young. The coaches are not young. They know how this world works. And these players, to a degree, some of them are going to have to one day look at themselves as older men, and they're going to look back. And you know how sometimes we as people make decisions, and then we look back and we're like, I shouldn't have done that. That's what they're going to wind up doing, because at that point they'd be like, we flipped some clothes inside out and threw them on the ground as a protest. Yeah, that was weak. We and then we played. You see, it's not. It's a thing about self-respect. We're not talking about money. We're not talking about. To a degree, we're talking about pride, but more so self-respect. Your certain things should not be purchased, and your dignity and self-respect should be one of them. To say I'm playing this game for me, I got to feed my family. Well, here's the thing. It's the playoffs. You got your money from the regular season. I said that before. The other thing is this: if you would, if you want the guy out or to sell a team, you make sure the team's not worth as much. See, these guys are going out making sure this guy gets his biggest payday when he's 80 something years old, instead of actually, sticking it to him. They're not doing anything for him. Say that team's worth $500 million. If he bought the team for 15, he's gonna make a profit regardless. You get what I'm saying? But let's just say that's what it is. And these guys, they're protesters. I'm gonna take these jerseys off. Yeah, we're gonna go out and win the championship for us. Well, if you go out and win the championship for us, the owner, which is still Donald Sterling, is probably gonna make $1 billion, because we're like, I have no. You want me to sell a championship team? See, it'd have been one thing if you had he was selling a playoff team that had a mutiny and insurrection because nobody wanted to be affiliated and associated with the team because of the owner. Then the team worth went from 500 million to 250, maybe three. But you dudes just bumped up the price. See, the more you win in the playoffs, the higher the price goes. So you're doing it for yourself, but you're doing it to make sure he gets paid. You see how counterproductive that is against racism. And don't say, Martin Luther King would have done this. Martin Luther King was hitting people in their pockets with boycotts. Everybody's worried about these marches. Martin wasn't about the marches. He was about the boycotts. I'm going to hit you where it hurts in your pocket. And instead of hitting people where it hurts in their pocket, you guys are out here putting money in his pocket. Now, speaking of also doing it for the city and doing it for the fans. Somebody on one of my commented on one of my sections is just like Higher Learner, which is a great movie, which is still one of my favorites. When Ice Cube tells Omar Epps, run, run. I left out the word in the middle. You figure it out. Which basically means the same thing. A lot of these fans are not coming to these games to support you. Some are like, do it for the city. Others are like, I bought this ticket to see you Negroes run because you still stupid enough to do it. At some point, but they're going to have to figure that out on their own. Now, as far as the coaches go, they know the deal. They know they sold them kids out. And they're not kids, they're grown men. So everybody on a different level is responsible for this. Because no matter how you slice it, the dude hates you. He says he gives you stuff and he provides you with a living. And he owns you. You see, it's a difference between, because let's get something straight. It's a lot of owners of businesses. When a person who owns a business feels like they own the business, they're absolutely right. But when a person who owns a business feels like they own the people, they're absolutely wrong. But if the people find out that they feel this way and they still work for the owner of the business, then you actually prove the owner right, that he owns the person or she owns the people. That's where you go wrong. Now, as far as at the end of the day, the guys look weak. And I'm gonna get into that in another video, but the guys look weak. You know, even if you go that far to win a championship ring, the owner gets the ring too. So you still won him a ring. If the ring was what you wanted and you're doing it for yourself, you actually did it for him still. And it's stupid. That's all I'm gonna say. It's stupid.